On a quiet morning in March 2018, a car was discovered at the bottom of a cliff in Mendocino County, California. The wreckage was mangled, and the bodies scattered nearby suggested a horrific accident. But as investigators pieced together the evidence, they realized this was no accident. This was a deliberate act, one that ended the lives of an entire family. The story begins with Jennifer Jean Hart, known as Jen, born in 1979 in South Dakota. She grew up in a small town, surrounded by nature, and was known for breaking gender norms, playing baseball with the boys instead of softball. She loved animals and music, often playing the trumpet at church. But beneath the surface, her family life wasn't as stable as it seemed. Her parents divorced when she was 12, and Jen, rebellious and strong-willed, eventually moved in with her father. That arrangement didn't last long. By the time she graduated high school in 1997, she was already searching for something more. She enrolled at a conservative Lutheran university, surprising everyone, and even got baptized, despite not being raised in the faith. It was there that she met Sarah Margaret, a kindred spirit studying special education. The two women connected instantly and soon moved in together. But Jen had secrets. In 2000, she was caught shoplifting. When questioned by police, she couldn't explain why she'd done it. She pleaded guilty, paid a fine, and moved on, but the incident hinted at deeper struggles. By 2002, Sarah graduated, and the couple settled in Minnesota. They bought a house, worked at a mall, and slowly opened up about their relationship. Not everyone accepted them, but they pushed forward. In 2005, Sarah took Jen's last name, becoming Sarah Hart. Soon after, they made a life-changing decision. They wanted to be foster parents. Their first foster child, a 15-year-old girl, later said she had planned to stay until she turned 18, but Jen and Sarah asked her to leave when they decided to adopt instead. In 2006, they adopted 3 siblings from Texas: Marcus, Hannah, and Abigail. 2 years later, they adopted 3 more: Devontae, Jeremiah, and Sierra. All 6 children were black, and Jen became a stay-at-home mom, documenting their lives on social media. To the outside world, the Harts were the picture of a perfect family. Jen posted photos of the kids playing instruments, dressing up in costumes, and holding signs that read, "Love is always beautiful." They wore matching shirts, smiled in every picture, and seemed like the happiest family alive. In 2008, one of their daughters told police that Sarah had hit her with a belt. The mothers claimed she had fallen down the stairs, and the case was dropped. Then, in 2010, 6-year-old Abigail told her teacher that her mothers had bruised her stomach and back. She said they punished her by dunking her head in cold water and withholding food. This time, authorities took action. Sarah admitted to hitting Abigail in a rage, and Jen confessed she knew about the abuse. A home inspection revealed the children had been physically punished and denied meals. Sarah pleaded guilty to domestic assault and was sentenced to 90 days in jail, but she never served time. Instead, she got community service, and the children stayed with them. After the case, Jen and Sarah pulled the kids out of school, claiming they faced discrimination because of their race and their mother's sexuality. They began homeschooling, but Jen never mentioned this online. Instead, she posted a photo of the kids sitting in a forest, captioned, "Science class in the woods." In 2013, the family moved to Oregon. Jen continued posting happy photos, but neighbors noticed something off. The children seemed afraid. They were unusually thin, often begging for food. One neighbor later said the kids were punished for laughing at the dinner table. They had to raise their hands before speaking. They weren't allowed to celebrate birthdays. That same year, police received a report about possible abuse. The children denied it, likely coached by their mothers. With no concrete evidence, authorities closed the case. Then, in 2014, Devontae Hart became famous. At a protest over the police killing of Michael Brown, a photo of him hugging a white officer went viral. It was called the most heartfelt hug in the world. The Harts were suddenly seen as a symbol of love and unity. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling. In 2017, the family moved to Washington. That November, 12-year-old Hannah escaped through a window in the middle of the night and ran to a neighbor's house. She begged them not to send her back, saying she was being abused. The neighbor, unsure what to do, handed her over to Jen and Sarah. The next day, Jen dismissed Hannah's claims, saying she was lying because of her bipolar birth mother. Then, in March 2018, Child Protective Services received multiple calls. Neighbors said Devontae kept coming over, starving, asking for food. One night, another daughter showed up at neighbor's door, covered in bruises, begging for help. She said her mother's hurt her. This time, CPS launched an investigation. But by the time they arrived, the Harts were gone. On March 24, 2018, Jen, Sarah, and the 6 children left their home in a hurry. They drove south, stopping in North Carolina the next day. Jen was seen buying food at a grocery store. Then, on March 26th, their SUV was found at the bottom of a cliff in California. Jen and Sarah were dead inside. 3 of the children, Abigail, Jeremiah, and Marcus, were found outside the car. Weeks later, Sierra's body washed up on a beach. In May, remains confirmed to be Hannah were found. Devontae was never recovered, but he was presumed dead. Investigators later discovered Sarah had searched online for how to induce drowsiness with medication, how long it takes to die from hypothermia in a car, shelters for dogs. They had left their 2 dogs at home, showing more concern for pets than their own children. The Hart's home was searched. The parents' rooms were fully furnished, but the children's were bare. Their luggage was still there. None of them had even packed a toothbrush. Toxicology reports showed Jen had been drinking, unusual for her. Sedatives were found in Sarah and 2 of the children. The truth was clear. Jen and Sarah, cornered by abuse allegations, had made a horrific decision. If they couldn't keep the children, no one would. This case exposed shocking failures in the system. Authorities in 5 states had been involved with the Harts over the years. Reports of abuse were ignored. Neighbors' warnings were dismissed. And in the end, 6 innocent children paid the price. Their story is a chilling reminder. Sometimes, the most perfect families hide the darkest secrets. And when the system fails, tragedy is inevitable.